Welcome everyone to TeamPolartic. We are on a server tour at a server. Hello, we're doing a server tour. Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's the server called again?
Hi guys.
It's completely unprofessional for you to forget, but what is this server called again?
It's an Fantasy Faction server, and it's part of the Oxide gaming community.
Okay.
Okay.
All that he said
We'll put
is
the
true. Okay.
put the address in
And
the
address
description.
in the description there. Yep. Okay. So we picked this server because it looked interesting and it looked like unique, and you know that's what we want to look at, unique stuff. So just explain the server because I have really no idea what I'm doing.
Well, basically, the whole idea behind this server was we thought we would make up like some fantasy lore, so some story behind it. So this city is actually kind of like the well, it's a spawn, but it's also like a hub city for a lot of different civilizations in this fantasy world we're kind of making up. So it's massive, really.
Massive. Yeah,
So
as far as I can see from the window,
I could
the
just
builds
see-
seem wonderful. They really do.
Thank you.
And if
That'd
I
be
could
me.
add something, your accent is very awesome.
Very awesome accents.
thank you.
I feel like since I'm American, I have like the most boring accent in existence, so it's kind of a bit sad.
There is another American. Judge is American.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
Scottish.
I'm American.
yeah, but
I'm Irish.
American accent.
And Lannister is of the Islands.
Irish.
What is Captain? Ha 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 ha.
It's a joke there. Okay, so apparently there are rules and stuff that we are supposed to read. That I have arrived in a strange land and welcoming stuff and major peoples and stuff and lots of words. So where do you guys want to start off with this tour of awesomeness and amazingness?
Well, I guess we could probably start off by showing you the docks.
Docks.
That's where we are just now. We're in a galleon in the docks. So if you guys want to
Yeah.
follow me out the door.
Okie dokie. Doors. Love doors. They're wonderful things.
Whoa, doors. Oh, well, you're blocking the door.
Wonderful.
There we go. Whee!
Wee. Okay, I'm free.
I'm a pirate. Arr.
Arr, pirates. Pirates.
Where'd you all go?
Oh, flying.
You-
If you walk out the door,
the-
you,
Oh, it teleports us. Okay, I see.
Oh, is
It didn't teleport me.
It didn't teleport me.
I want to
either.
go stand on the pressure plate again. This is really
Oh,
pretty.
this is really nice. I love the builds on this server.
Ooh, like words.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you guys want to see the galleon from outside, it is over here. If you wanna
Yeah,
Here.
I built the galleon in the ports.
this way.
Oh, this is the galleon.
Oh,
This is
that's
Judge's
cool.
work, and so is
Yeah.
the gigantic dock. You'll see.
Gigantic docks.
Hmm.
So
Where would the dog be?
it's pretty huge.
So this is basically like a faction server in a type with RPG, which I suppose makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
Um,
it's fantasy, and that's cool.
Fancy, fanciness. So is this just the main hub, or do you have any other interesting builds or anything like that?
This is
We have
just
our
the docks
country.
of the city.
Wow. Okay.
So if you like
the
to
city-
show
It
around, that
is
would be
it's pretty
wonderful.
huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
first
the
I can see it's sort of
docks themselves are split
massive.
into two parts. One for sea ships and one for airships. So
Yes.
it's pretty cool.
Airships are up
If
top.
you guys, where
Yes,
are you
Fly up
guys?
far
We-
enough.
If you guys want to come over to the arches over
I'm
here,
getting lost,
I can
apparently.
start taking you through the city.
Okie dokie. We.
Oh,
I'm,
should
like,
we
really
show them
lost.
the airship first?
Because we know exactly where
Ooh,
we're
I
going.
want to see.
Okay.
Uh,
Right, there you
we
go.
all go back down on the ground instead of flying everywhere.
Blyra, should we show them? Should we show
So,
them
Mo, sorry.
the airship first before we head into the town?
Oh yeah.
That
We'll
would
show you
be
what.
so
We'll show you the
cool.
airship up here. It's very nice.
If you guys follow us up here,
Whee! I'm Superman.
this way.
Eh,
got this
airship's
airship.
mine too.
Also built by Judge.
Okay. Yeah, because me and Julian, we were trying to work on an adventure map. It's, you know, to tell you the truth, we have interesting builds, but nothing as wonderful as this, especially on such a massive scale, really.
Well, thank you.
It took us an incredible amount of
I
time,
can
probably more than it should have.
Yeah.
Our boats look way
And
puny
there's
to
nothing
this.
down in the holds just yet. So,
Not yet.
right.
No.
I suppose we ought to move into the town. There's some other airships that I built across the way, but those are much smaller and less interesting. But if you still want to go and have a look.
Okay.
I like these sort of like upside down spires. These are cool.
Oh yeah, I played a lot of Final Fantasy 12, and that's how they would keep their air
So,
cities and
is
stuff
this
in
like
the air.
the,
So I
is
just
the
kind of took
concept
the
of this
concept.
basically the whole concept of this is this basically taken out of like MMOs and such like that?
Yeah,
So-
MMO is very fantasy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we have a
I'd say
we have a
it's yeah.
we're building a very quite an extensive like backstory and lore behind it.
Yeah.
So the world itself is called Aethereon,
Mm.
which is the continent and the land where all the people live.
Okay.
And yeah, so we're building our world around that. If you want
Can
to
we
hear.
stop
There
going?
are
I'm getting really confused as
massive,
everybody is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it always amazes me like the things you can do in like Minecraft. It's not just like you can basically put any compilation of games in it that you want and basically do whatever you want with it, really. And you can end up with great things like this.
So where does
Yeah.
oxide come from?
I think actually I was doing a kind of low level chemistry course, and we were just studying oxidation, and I've had that word in my head for about a year. So then when I came to the couple of people that I started off with originally, I just said, we should just call it oxide. One of those people was actually Lannister, or in game, AZJ11.
In game,
Oh.
I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are over there. I was getting confused. I'm like, why aren't you guys moving?
Oh.
These are all just like statues.
These are our these are our council chambers.
Wonderful.
Yes, this is where we
Which,
talk about all the things.
Once we've got all the races and different kingdoms set up, this is going to be wherever like a representative from each faction will come and discuss things. We're not sure what things yet.
Yeah.
Just things,
Like potato
Things
chips.
in general,
and,
important.
potatoes
Yeah,
and carrots and
the weather.
Stuff
the
like
weather. Very nice evening. So
So is there anything else you would like to show us here?
yeah,
Or-
it is really massive. I don't even know where we can start with this as far as I've seen so far. It really is just massive, isn't it?
I thought we started with the boat.
Well, it's up
Or
to
we
you
could
guys
start
how,
at the
how
market.
Oh.
depth you want to get.
I'm starving, apparently.
I mean, the market is pretty much just a pre-built market where we're going to allow players to set up their own stalls and sell things that they want to sell. So there's not. I don't think there's anything yet. No, because we literally
So-
opened
We could
about
show 'em the
an hour
botanical
and
garden.
minutes ago.
So, what are all the different
Yeah,
races
show them the garden.
that you have so far?
Oh, that is how long is a piece of string, really?
Oh,
Because I mean,
Oh.
we're still writing so much the lore. I mean, Lannister is it's kind of like the head lore writer, and trying to even compile the small amount that we've written already. I mean, it's insane. So I'd say that some of the main kind of races that are going on right now are probably some human factions, elven factions, and I'm kind of working on one just now. It's kind of like it won't be anything. The actual race itself won't be anything normal from normal fantasy. It will be something unique. Yeah, that I've yet to think of. They've basically been driven underground, and now they're only just starting to emerge, and they're very industrious and good with technology and stuff. So, think massive carved out caverns with cities built in them,
ooh, yeah.
and it'll be kind of awesome to build.
That would be wonderful. It would be.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of the story you could tell us right now, or no?
Words.
I could give you a
Lannister?
bit on the foundations of the lore. Yeah, I can. All right. So at the beginning, there were 5 eras. Well, there have been 5 eras of history in the world's time span. There has been the primordial era, which is when everything was just starting to exist. When all these things were starting to form into things like humans and elves and dwarves or whatever like that. And then that happened, and there were gods, right? There were two realms of existence. There was this one, which is called Aetherion, sorry, with an E-O-N. And then there was another one called Aetherius, which is where all the gods lived and where spirits would go when they died. And So they were fine. There were countless gods. There were so many gods, like unbelievable amounts. But there were like a few main elder ones who ruled over each individual race. So there was a god that ruled over the humans, a god that ruled over the elves, the dwarves, then there was the dryads and the eldar, who are now extinct. But so they were there. But then the gods were working together and keeping the harmony of the world. But then eventually they decided that they wanted more power, which led to the Dark Era, when the gods basically went to war with each other, using the inhabitants of Aethereon as their weapons. And as a result of this, they pretty much destroyed all of Aethereon and drove most of the races almost to extinction. And they killed themselves. All the gods are now dead. Aetherius was destroyed.
Oh,
There's
dear.
nothing left of it. And so there was a long period of time when the inhabitants didn't know what to do because there were no gods to guide them. That was in the era of, and that heralded the beginning of the era of enlightenment, when people began to experiment. They started to learn that they could use magic how they wanted to now, and they could make their own technology. And then that went through, and now we're in the era of the godless, when the people have completely abandoned the idea of gods, and they're just doing what they want to do because they can. But as a result of this now, they're going to war with each other for their own reasons, for their own power, or to keep their land safe, or things like that. So we're at the end of the era of the godless, and at some point in the server's lifetime, the era is going to move on to the next one, which we do not know what it is yet.
So, like,
So
throughout
that is
the
the-
time people play on the server, you pretty much decide you want to add, like, lore depending on what the players on the server do, pretty much.
Yep. That's about it.
So how long have you been working
The-
on this?
the-
Yeah, how
as
long
the-
have you been working on this? Because I couldn't imagine working on this.
It's like
This
really
is-
big.
Yes,
It's about 2 weeks, isn't it, Blair? We've been doing this for about 2 weeks.
wonderful.
For about 2 weeks, yeah. I started before I even thought about even making a server at all. I had already started working on this in single player. I didn't have world edit or anything like that. It was horrible. I built the tower in single player, and I also built the walls in single player all by hand. So I think that probably took me about 2 weeks, but we've been working on this for 2 weeks, and pretty much everything that I built has been redone. So I'd say that it did take about 2 weeks in total, yeah. And we're still not finished. There's still details that we want to add, and the insides of the houses and stuff could be nicer. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. I think we're probably at the point now where we can start opening to the public and allowing people on to play, but just kind of say that it's essentially in beta.
Well, to be honest, this could actually, I mean, the storyline and everything, this could actually, I mean, for a server, it's, like, really great, and I hope it gets somewhere. Because, I mean, if it was a game, it would be, wonderful, too. Just the storyline and anything, it's really deep, if I can say it like that. It's begin to express it. But, yeah, it's really...
It's amazing how far you
Yeah,
got
it's-
in only 2 weeks.
Yes, it really is. It's more than I could have done, or Julian could have done, or any of us. Not very good at life.
Or Bob.
Or,
We were horribly
Or-
organized doing it though, so we probably could have been more efficient.
yeah.
Yeah, we probably could have had this done and then had a bunch of faction cities done and everything if we had just bothered, where... Not that we can't be bothered, it's more that we're not very good at organizing, as Blair said.
What gave
Yeah.
you ideas of having a glowstone hang from the trees?
Oh, that's like, I mean, they're like ropes,
Me.
aren't they? They're like ropes.
Yeah.
This one's kind of...
Yeah,
This
it's
is-
supposed
this
to
is
look
all-
like ropes. I think it looks very Tolkien fantasy to me, really.
Yeah.
I didn't build this; Judge built it. He's an amazing builder.
Oh, now it's
Whoa,
nighttime.
it turned
Oh.
nighttime.
Looks good at night.
Magic.
On the
Magic.
server website, there are pictures of this with shaders and such, so it all looks quite nice there.
Oh, it looks very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were using a resource pack. They're called now, aren't they? Now, and really, I mean, even in this, it looks really, really great.
I don't think.
Oh,
I like
in terms of
block the view.
resource
Thank you very
packs,
much.
This is
I mean, I suppose I
In
don't know.
terms
How long it-
of our resource packs, we've built everything in... we started building everything in DokuCraft, but then after a while we switched over to John Smith. So if you...
Yeah.
That's probably the best one to look at. It looks... We've been very careful to
It
try and make
looks
sure
at
that
least
it looks
6
fine in
times
whatever you
better.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there any other like cities or builds areas beside this that you're willing to show, or like mechanics or anything? Because so far we've just been looking at the builds, which are really amazing. But like as far as the mechanics and factions, though, what is there to see?
That is where we are still working on. I think that really what we've been doing, and for the most part, is definitely building. And we're still working on the whole mechanics behind the factions. I mean, there's big ideas, but it's actually implementing those ideas, you know. So as far as factions, I think the way that it's going to work, is you can make your own faction, but I think it will cost significant amount, and I think we're going to have our moderators quite carefully monitor the factions and make sure that it's kind of kept to like a fantasy building theme, because I really don't like the idea of having hundreds of factions lying about with cobblestone boxes for bases.
Yeah, so you know,
you know what I mean.
I go on like servers sometimes, what really disappoints me sometimes is if the people on the server just completely obliterate the world when it's already really beautiful, just naturally generating, and they just like completely wreck it and just, I don't know, it seems like they just shred up the land. But, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
like the 1x100.
there are huge ideas, and this is what we have just now. So, I mean, we have ideas for much bigger things, and I'd say this is on a scale compared to what we're thinking. This is probably about 1/200th. Thereabouts.
Is there a frozen land?
Is there a frozen land? What? So is this the only city so far, or is there any more?
Then this is about it. I mean, most of the shops, they're all nicely decorated inside of libraries. There's little Easter eggs and stuff about little hidden little bits. But I mean, it would take a long time to look through. I mean, we're even putting sewers underneath it. We've got a fair bit of that done as well, with little service hatches and yeah.
So it's.
I'd very much like to see the library. Where's the library?
Where's the library?
It's more a bookshop than a library, but it's Sorry.
Tend to sell books at libraries, at least, I suppose, and they end up being really ratty books. But
Okay, hold on, I'll teleport you guys to me.
Magic.
Magic. It's all magical. It's not commands. It's magic.
So here?
I got a new keyboard and I'm still getting used to it. And there we go. If this is not actually the library, this is the start of the black. The library is down here. Down here.
You're getting lost.
In here.
Ooh.
Yeah, as you can see, it's not that much of a library. But what we're gonna do is
I wanna sit.
while
I can't sit. Is this a mechanic? Can you actually sit in this? Is this a mechanic? That is actually wonderful.
Oh yeah.
we
can sit
a
in the
chair
seats.
plug-in.
Yeah.
So, like, what plugins do you have?
Well,
Because I can imagine you have an extensive amount of plugins, probably.
Whoa. Okay, that is a big question. I mean, in even the last kind of 10 minutes, I've written down. I've actually got a notebook in front of me, and I've got my pen, and I'm literally just writing down every plugin that I can think of that we still need. And I've already written down about another 10 that we need. But at the moment, we have probably about 30 different plugins. I mean, we have the basics, essentials, and factions, and then the kind of like extended versions of them. So all the like the bits that add stuff. We've got MCMMO on. Which is kind of half configured. It's not totally configured yet, but we're getting there with it. There's little kind of RP elements as well. There's a chimneys plugin, which basically just allows you to make smoke particles come from certain places. We have the seats plugin, which is quite cool.
Do you have any like custom plugins that you have?
Well, that's I normally run Garry's Mod servers, so I am proficient with Lua, and I know I normally code my own stuff in Lua, so I think I'm gonna actually start learning Java and start making it myself, because I mean I could pay someone to make me plugins, I could ask someone to make me plugins, but it would never be exactly what you wanted. So I think the best way to do it would actually, if us individually, kind of like the super admins, to start learning a bit of Java and doing it ourselves. So eventually we will have a lot of custom coded stuff. I mean, I was thinking earlier on about, instead of having it factions, making our own version of it with kingdoms. So you can have your main kingdom, and then you can have sub cities and sub towns. So, yeah, a lot of things that we could do.
Well, I don't know how long we've been recording, but I think does that sum it up, or is there anything else you need to say in general?
I'd say that's about it. I'm done. I don't know if there's anything else anyone else
I
wants
really
to say.
do hope this server gets somewhere. I don't know. I might just play on my own at some point. But I really do hope this server gets somewhere. It's really a unique idea that I've never seen. I've really never seen this before on any server. I mean, even at the extent it is right now.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's like
There's a lot of
you see
work
people who
still
build
to
really
do.
good stuff,
Yeah.
and it's not roleplay, and
Yeah,
you see roleplay, and there's just a bunch of towers
Because what
everywhere
people don't
made of like
understand is they
sponge.
have like a
Yeah.
bunch of servers with just minigames and stuff like that, and they're all the same. And it's just it's a bit bland after a while because they're pretty much all the but it's really amazing to see unique servers like this that are just special, like the way this is, and just become its own thing. It's really like a whole new game, in fact, that you make it like that, and that's I think really what servers should be aimed towards.
Yeah.
Is changing the gameplay.
Absolutely. I mean, we're trying to make it as individual and our own as possible, because so many times you look through the server lists and you see the same thing over and over and over, and it's normally PvP factions, multi-games. That is it.
Yes, pretty much.
Normal stock factions. You can make a faction for no money, and there's just cobblestone towers everywhere, and
Cobblestone
everything looks
huts
atrocious. And I think
giant lava
Yeah.
towers. It seems like.
I think that people are too stuck in the idea of we'll make it this way because that's what everyone likes,
Yeah.
whereas I would rather do something and show that no, actually this is what you want.
Yeah, it's
You don't
always
want that. I would rather show
great
people
to
what
make
they
something
want.
unique. So.
Yeah.
There's this one time on our single player server with me and David, and well, not single player, multiplayer. When I built this giant tower, and then I put lava on the top.
Oh.
I think it was me, and then I'm like, oh, I know how to get rid of
Oh, I
this
had to
water,
It was,
and
it was
no,
so
that just made
it
a
was
giant
just, it was a
cobblestone
giant
thing.
cobblestone tower I had to get rid of. It was atrocious. Oh my god. Anyway, so the server that I can't remember what's it's called again. I'm sorry, I can't remember its name. I really can't.
Aethereon Fantasy Factions, and it's part of the Oxide gaming
Okay,
community.
Aethereon Fantasy Factions. Basically everything he says. That's what you have, guys. Server website link in the description, I believe. And that's it, I believe. That's it.
Thank you very much,
Alright.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having
Thanks a million.
us and
Thank you.
being so helpful.
No problem.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go end that.